continue to move forward. We got to just decide that we want to play and stay a little more disciplined.
All right, Coach Johnson, how else do you feel about the game?
If we somehow can stay disciplined and do the little things, then we would come out of there with a W.
The little things like catch the ball. Don't jump off sides when you just won the game.
Operative word, discipline. They weren't disciplined at all last night. That's the problem.
I can't take it. All right, look, we're going to find out who's to blame for this loss in 2 minutes. Keyshawn JWill and Max, ESPN Radio, ESPN2, Sirius XM Channel 80, presented by Progressive Insurance. All guests join us on the Goodyear Hotline. That includes Chris Canty to talk Giants, 9:10 a.m. Eastern. Guys, that was so... First of all, I'm still getting used to this morning schedule where Sundays, Mondays, and now Thursdays, which means
Struggle City.
Monday, Tuesday, Friday, you're beat. And I keep trying to, I'm going to watch the first half, I'll go to sleep. These games, these primetime games keep going down to the wire. All right, Key, who is to blame for the Giants' loss last night?
Love media. Who's to blame?
That's right.
Well, I mean, if you really want to blame somebody, you blame the players. That's what's on. It's on the players. It's not on anybody else except the players. Lawrence jumping off sides is on him. It's not on the coaches. They were not on the field. The drop touchdown pass is on the receiver. It's not on the coaches or the front office. That's who it's on. Everybody wants to try and run away from the actual facts. There's some things that you can blame on coaches and front office people, and those things that cost them that game is not on them.
Well,
not on them at all.
We have a difference of opinion on this that we're going to get into. The two Giants fans are like, come on.
It's a cumulative effect. That's why for us.
All right, look, first, let's listen to Joe Judge, the Giants head coach, after the game on who the loss is on.
The biggest thing for him is it's going to be a tough lesson. It's a lesson you got to learn. A lesson we all have to learn, as a team, that we don't repeat the mistakes one by one. We've got to see that, make sure we clean it up. These are obviously things we've talked about, coached, but obviously we have to do a better job, in the future going forward. But look, I'm not going to put this on Dex, and I don't want to put this on Dex. Okay, Dex is a good player. He's a strong piece of our locker room. He's a good teammate. He's fun to coach. He's productive for us as a player. I'm not going to put this on Dexter Lawrence, okay? There's things we all have to do better as professionals, all right, but I'm not going to put this on any one player or one situation.
All right, let me just set that up for a second a little better. You heard it on ESPN 630 Sports Capital. Dexter Lawrence, the Giants' defensive tackle, good player. He's good last year, good young player, jumped off sides on a 48-yard field goal attempt by Dustin Hopkins.
That he missed.
The penalty gave him another shot to win the game, and on an untimed down, Hopkins nailed a 43-yard field goal, and they won 30-29. Washington did. So, and by the way, Key, that second kick looked very similar to the first one, only 5 yards out, maybe a little better, and 5 yards closer. So I get, Key, Joe Judge not putting it on Dexter Lawrence there because that's a boneheaded thing, but it's like one isolate. Cost him the game. No way around that. That cost him the game, right?
Well,
they win if he doesn't do that.
Several things in the game cost him the game. That one happened to be the last one.
Yeah.
But if
But it
Darius
didn't
Slayton,
affect the play, and they
if
won the
Darius
game.
Slayton catch the touchdown, the game's over.
You're up 10 with 6 minutes left to go.
It's a wrap.
It's game
But
over.
there are higher and lower leverage situations. At the end of the game, when you got the lead,
dropped the ball, man. That ain't got nothing to do with no damn coaching staff and no general manager. The coach, Jason Garrett, dialed it up, and your guy, as you call him, Danny Nichols, delivered it. What did everybody got to say now?
Can I just tell you something?
Leave that dude alone.
I know Darius Slayton played a good game. Sterling Shepard played a good game. And we could talk about Kenny Galladay, Kenny G later, and that whole rift between him and Daniel Jones. But, it's interesting. Before this week, I think there were a lot of people in that locker room looking at Daniel Jones and be like, man, you better get your stuff together, man.
he got it together, though.
Because I'm going to say the right thing in the media. I'm going to play that game, but you better get it together. If I'm Daniel Jones this morning, I'm looking at my team like, okay, make that catch, man.
Well, he need to just keep playing.
He don't keep playing, but I'm still.
Look at nobody. He just needs to
I'm not
play.
saying you say it to him, but you're looking at your team saying.
Today, I got no criticism for Daniel Jones. My late, great brother Sam used to say, the time to criticize the fat dude is not when he's getting back from the gym with the sweaty wristbands. Don't criticize him then. He just went to the gym. He's having his egg whites and stuff. Like, leave him alone on that. Daniel Jones, I'm not talking about him today. He played well. That he played well enough to win, certainly. He made big plays. But, of course, on that play, Key, you know what I'm thinking. I once talked to a wide receiver, played a while in the NFL, Jay, who told me, I'm trying to remember who he was, that when you are wide open and the ball's in the air. Do you remember who that dude was?
Number 19?
Like a week ago, Key, you were talking about this. Was earlier this week, you were talking about how it's in a way the hardest ball, right? Like to some dudes, when it's in the air, you're wide open. Take us through it.
Yeah, it's a bad deal.
All those lights on you too, Key.
Oh, man, I just felt bad for him. And I felt, when I was watching it, I just felt that he was getting ready to drop it. I swear I did. I was like,
me too, because of you. I blame you.
He ain't going to catch it. I could just tell how he was running. He was running like, he was running nervous. He didn't look smooth and relaxed. He looked tense in doing it.
That's
interesting. He came open on the post route. He closed the cushion. He gave him the outside nod. He went skinny like he should have. Daniel Jones put it where he should have. Led him to the front part of the goalpost, and it just didn't finish the
When
deal.
you say he ran nervous, you just said he did all the things he
right
was
here. See, look. He looked nervous.
Yeah.
He just looked nervous. And it was one of those deals where it was coming up on him so fast that he couldn't make the necessary adjustment. So when you start looking at things like that, that's not on the coaching staff, man.
Well,
that's on the player.
I have my hand raised. I'm in between. I'm with Key on the coaching staff. I think Jason Garrett actually called a decent game. I give him credit for calling it. I mean, that opening drive, he was extremely creative, right? In the opening drive. The thing that kind of brought me back, it's almost like having PTSD to a degree, right? It's like you're watching all of it happen, and you're like, oh, this is okay. And then that last drive, man, after Bradbury gets that interception.
Who had a bad game. Bradbury's getting lit up, but then he came through. All is forgiven. You come through on that play.
It just seems like, Max, when you get back to that really adverse moment as a fan, and you're like, all right, Jason Garrett, let's be creative here.
Question.
Run, first down. Second down, run. Third down, pass. I'm like, I'm just going to settle for the field goal.
Not only run, pass, but Jay, up the gut.
Gut.
Right into the teeth of the defense. Key, this is the question. I see that.
But they was making hay going when they were running their counter plays. They were getting hay. They was getting 4, 5, 6 yards a pop when they were running right up the gut. When they ran the ball up the gut, they were getting hay. It wasn't like they was getting stuffed.
Okay, that aside, you were clowning him. I was. Jay was. What were you saying all week about Jason Garrett? Run, pass.
Yeah,
okay.
Run, pass.
So now the game's on the line.
Run, pass.
Here's the question. Key, here's the question. Game's on the line. I give Jason Garrett credit. Jay did. You did. Much better play calling throughout the game, right? He did a good job. Is that on Garrett? Or is that Joe Judge at that moment of the game? Who takes responsibility for those play calls at that point in the game? They come away with a field goal instead of a touchdown.
It just depends. Coach, it depends. Coach could tell him, Joe Judge could tell him,